Ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time. Welcome to a new video, and we're going to talk a little bit about WWE 2K26 today because it seems that we are already towards the halfway point of the yearly cycle, and sooner than later, we're probably going to be talking about 2K27 again. But nonetheless, right, there has been a lot of opinions on 2K26, how people feel about it. Some people even saying that this may be their last WWE 2K game for a while, which I take those things with a grain of salt because then 2K start trickling down that news and everybody starts to sing a different tune. So we'll have to see how that goes. But before we get into all that, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Let's go on ahead and get into it, y'all. WWE 2K26 has probably been one of the more mixed opinion titles in recent memory, right? Everybody loves the gameplay. Nobody really craps on the gameplay as much. Everybody is more so mad about the decisions and the things that come as a part of microtransactions and just certain decisions within the game with persona cards and things like that that really do make the game feel more like a chore and not as fun, right? That's the general consensus I've seen a lot throughout, the community opinions and things like that, especially when you go on a timeline, bro. It could be a little bit dreadful. There's so much negativity, and that is something that, unfortunately, has plagued the game this year with the decisions and a lot of self-inflicting things that 2K has just done to themselves. Now, I want to go on ahead and react to your opinions this time around because I've already given you guys my thoughts. It's not about gameplay, it's about the decisions that have been made. And I want to go on ahead and react to your thoughts because at the end of the day, y'all, we've built this channel on community feedback and all that good stuff to try and make this game better. So let's go on ahead and get into all that. Let's get it. We're here, y'all. And if y'all don't follow me on X, go ahead and follow me on X right now because what are you doing if you're not following me? As you see, if you had to rate it, what would you rate it? We're about the halfway point into WWE 2K26. This is a way for you to get featured on the video if you ever want to see your thoughts or you ever want me to react to it. So make sure y'all go on ahead and hit that follow on the social as well. So first things first, man, we got to go on ahead and start with the first comment. Shout out to Mikey, 8.5. Just wish we didn't get characters we didn't need from Myra. So I don't really see this complaint as much, but I know that all the time people feel like, man, why are we getting these characters, right? But again, they are jobbers, but it's not really like something that really excites me, right? Me personally, I would prefer for them to give me like a on and off toggle button. That would be the way that I would personally go around it because some people probably like this stuff, but personally for me, it's just not my cup of tea. I would like to just remove them when I'm going and scrolling through the roster. Mike Brown, 7, and I'm being generous. So you ain't got to be generous here, my boy. You could keep it a buck. We here, just going through a lot of these thoughts, but I get it. You know what I'm saying? He didn't elaborate as to why he gave it that rating, so we'll have to go on ahead and get into the next one. Brandon, hot take. People worry too much about the small things with this game, but easy 7 out of 10. Easy 7 out of 10. Shout out to Brandon for this one, man. I do agree. I feel like some people do take a lot of these things out of proportion, and it's just unfortunate because I don't think the game is actually that bad. Again, it's more so just decisions that are made within the game. It's not about the gameplay or anything like that. Personally, I would love to see universe mode get a little bit better, a little bit more creative. Like, I would like to see things like that get better throughout, the year and next year, right? Because 27 comes around, y'all, and I feel like universe mode has gotten better in that aspect where I don't feel like I'm just looking for as much, but I really want to see universe mode take that really big step, in the coming year or so, right? We are always talking about story mode. I feel like universe mode has an opportunity to do that and more, right? With all the freedom that they've given us over the last year or two. So just personally, that's where my thoughts are at with the game itself. But when you look at the game all around, gameplay and everything, I am still a fan. Shannon, 5 out of 10. I like to play against other people and love the grind of my faction and cards. I don't like how the same persona cards were added to the game from previous years. I tried playing ranked in the mode, but this year it's been impossible. It's not stable enough for me to play, and don't think anyone is playing ranked this year because I can't ever find a match. I paid $149 to feel the nostalgia of the Attitude Era, but I haven't felt that yet. I was hoping for persona cards for Stunning Steve Austin, Flying Brian Pillman to make the tag team Hollywood Blondes. With Brian Pillman being added in the DLC, many opportunities were missed. So that is definitely, you know, unfortunate that Shannon feels that way. Shout out to Shannon, man. Big time supporter. Been supporting the channel for a while now. So I definitely appreciate you, brother. I definitely think that the ranked mode in my faction has taken a big L, right? And I think that a lot of the time that is because of the servers and, you know, how the servers have been this year, right? It started off real rocky with the servers, and as people continuously start to drop off the servers, that's when you start to see that the servers start to work a bit better throughout middle of the year, right? But hopefully we don't have to go through this in 2K27, and hopefully there is a better reward path in 2K27 as well for my faction, because I feel like that is one of my favorite things, you know, with the mode, and unfortunately has just fallen off a cliff. So I personally would like to see that be better. Chelsea, out of 10, a 6. Shout out to Chelsea, man. Roster is very stacked overall, but there are some major omissions from NXT that knock it down, and the personas being too difficult / expensive to obtain also hurt it quite a bit too. I also hate that they took away the ability to assign renders to alt attires. Definitely agree with you, Chelsea. I really want to see that come back for the alternate attires. And another thing for me as well, I do agree. I feel that the personas are a little bit too crazy, and I also hate the fact that we are being charged for persona cards that we've already seen in the past, like that John Cena, right? That's part of the L for me there, but again, I understand that there's certain things that they likely, you know, have to do because of the business perspective. I just wish that it wasn't so, you know, business-like for certain things, right? Like that John Cena that we had last year that we paid for in that pack, I shouldn't have to pay for it again, right? I already paid for that before. So there are definitely some big negatives within the personas themselves, and that's just where, you know, it stays for me at the moment. Adam, 6.5 out of 10. Isn't lacking content, but it is very money driven for lots of unlockables. I agree. I definitely think that it's not the content, right, with the game. I think that a lot of it, again, it comes down to decisions, man. That's the big thing. And money driven for lots of unlockables, that's a decision issue. And that's just where it at. Shout out to Mooney, man. I'm going to say 6 out of 10. It barely passes, in my opinion. Like, it does what it needs, but the innovation isn't there. I'm going to stop it right there, right? Because she's going to go into the recycled content. And obviously, for me, I agree with the recycled content. But I do agree that the game feels like it's lacking something fresh. And I'll tell y'all right now, it's probably the look of the game. For 22, 23, 24, 25, and 26, that has been a, I'm not going to say issue, because when 2K22 dropped, that was an amazing feel and look for the game. But as the years have gone on, the games look extremely similar to each other, right? They've added on to a lot of the features, and they've made things different and made things better. But that thing right there with the graphics and the way the game looks and feels, it's been so similar, which that's why I understand sometimes how people can feel the fatigue that they feel, because you are seeing something very repetitive over the last couple of years. And I feel like, again, a lot of things have gotten better. I'm not disagreeing, and I'm always the first one to tell y'all, I love this, I love that, I love this, I also don't like this. But for me personally, I've been saying this for about like 2 years now. I want to say I definitely think the game needs to refresh, like a 2K15 refresh. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm not saying go and delete everything that you've done, but I think the look and feel of the game has to change a little bit, in my opinion. Main event Slayer, 5 out of 10. Okay. Felipe just got the game 3 days ago because of the Jeff Hardy DLC, and I'm loving it. I do like the Jeff Hardy inclusion, y'all. I've been playing a little bit more than usual lately because of Jeff Hardy. Last 2K game for sure. Too many microtransactions. Items purchased last year still cost. Facts. Horrible character models. I do think that they have a lot of good character models, but there's also some bad ones that stick out. You know? A-Gamer. Honestly, hard to say because it generally doesn't feel finished yet. Interesting. I still haven't done Myra's GM or Finish Showcase, and I'm waiting to do Universe proper. Damn, bro, we like 6 months in. What you talking about? You still waiting to do Universe mode properly, but again, I do agree. I do think that it is the best game in the series thus far. 6 because of my faction. Hey, man, that's just where we're at. Jackson says the gameplay is good, but they fumbled just about everything. And if we go through, y'all, and we see a lot of the stuff here, 7 out of 10, a 6. You feel what I'm saying? The Holy Goat, 7.5. The limitations keeping it from reaching its full potential. I think we're getting close to breaking that barrier, though, especially after seeing what Ragdoll did this year. Like, if you go and see what people with mods are doing, it really sticks out the possibilities that are possible, right? That they can do if they are able to, you know, fully go there. So I think that we're getting to that point where the limitations are no longer limitations, but it's still got a little bit to go. Andy, 9 out of 10 game. Vincent with another 9 out of 10. And Paul Duffy, 4.5. Okay, understand. Walter, boring most of the time. There's nothing to do when you finish the live events and world tour. So this is a My Faction player right here, y'all. WGW, 8.5. John with a 7 out of 10. M2K with a 5 out of 10. Great but limited gameplay with an awful longevity strategy. Also, no love or effort put in fan favorite modes. Okay. Drew with a 7.5. Dex with a 6.5. But overall, man, I do think that this is a really good, you know, tell from the community, right, on how they feel. Lots of clear issues that a lot of people in the community have put and they agree with, right? So hopefully, you know, 2K does see a lot of the issues that are going on this year that are plaguing the way people look at this game and feel about it, right? It's always, oh, the gameplay is good, but this, right? So we need to find, you know, the balance for everybody, not just for the business, but also for the consumer, right? At the end of the day, consumers got all the power, in my opinion. So we'll have to see what happens with 27, y'all. I know it's a little too early to be talking about that, but obviously what's done is done with 26. Do get next year's game, you're just going to have to move on, and that's just what it's going to be. I'm still enjoying 26's gameplay thus far, to be completely honest, but that's just where I stand with it. If you guys have been enjoying the content, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to stay tuned for the next one. I'm going to catch y'all. Peace.